Time for our live mailbag. Only way to get on the show is to be subscribed. So if you haven't already, hit that big red button. It's youtube.com/CowboysTV. Don't miss out on the daily videos, if not multiple time a day videos that we will have for you guys here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. From Nicholas, $3.99 Canadian money. Go out and get Sherman, draft Surtain II. So I don't want to do both, if I'm being honest. I think one of those is fine. Now, maybe you could move Sherman to free safety, at which point I'm on board with that, but I also have to remember this. Sherman, Surtain, and Diggs are outside corners. I've got limited money and limited cap space. So, or draft picks, excuse me, especially my first round pick. I don't want to invest my two biggest things at the same spot when I already have Trevon Diggs. Corey Firm, who would you have paid, Lewis or Awuzie? Probably wouldn't have paid Anthony Brown last year, if I'm being honest, and just paid both guys. Look, the Jourdan Lewis deal's pretty cheap. I think the Cowboys are trending towards drafting a cornerback early, and because I already have someone who can, although maybe not great, play inside and out in Anthony Brown, signing someone who can play inside like Jourdan Lewis is fine with me. So it doesn't really matter in the end. It's just it would have been fine across the board. If I had to pick one, I guess I'm going to go with the cheap guy, which ended up being Jourdan Lewis. From Schuyler Cyrus, would it make sense to trade for Johnathan Abram or look to draft a safety? Well, Abram's been bad for Vegas. Like, he cannot cover. Like, he has been, frankly, he has been a bust so far for the Las Vegas Raiders. He's not been very good. So as a result, plus he's a box safety. I already have one in Donovan Wilson. I want a free safety. If I'm adding Abram on the cheap and moving him to linebacker, okay. I am on board with this decision. I like that idea, frankly. But if I want an actual safety, I want a free safety, not a box guy. Who do you guys want Dallas to draft at number 10 overall? We're talking draft right now here. Assuming there's no trade, what player do you guys want? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's video. So if you get that ad break here on YouTube, scroll on down and get your votes in. From Anthony, we were awful against the run last year. We need someone like Ndamukong Suh. I just feel like it was more glaring problem than our pass defense was. You're right. No, both were an issue. But if NFL teams can just run the ball against you, they're going to do that. Like, there's no reason for them to just throw it when they're having immense success grinding the ball on the ground. So, yes, I do think the run defense needs more help. I still want a bigger body on the defensive line, but both areas are concerned. So, Anthony, yes, I do agree with you on that one. Bright Wendigo, who will be the best defensive player available at number 10? And I think it makes more sense to trade down and get someone similarly skilled. So I think in reality, from the way the Cowboys and NFL view it, keep that in mind, it will be Micah Parsons at linebacker, who I do not want, and whoever you have higher on your cornerback board, Patrick Surtain or Caleb Farley. I think there's a very real chance that at most one defensive player has been taken when Dallas is on the clock at number 10 overall. I am always down to move down. I like trading down the NFL draft. It gets you more chances. If you're not going to go Caleb Farley, I would trade down if I were the Dallas Cowboys. From Tyler, what do you think of Luke Gifford? I think he would help our defense if he was on the field. Gifford got some hype in camp. We haven't seen him play. So frankly, I have no idea what Luke Gifford actually brings to you on an NFL team. He might be okay. I wanted to see him play last year. I wanted to see him get some reps, he and Francis Bernard. So I knew what I had. I don't know what I have in Luke Gifford, and therefore I must operate like I have nothing as a result. From Brandon, a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Brandon. Very kind of you. From Mr. Stegosaurus, coming from the 502 Louisville, sign a damn linebacker. you need at least depth in all seriousness. You need to find at least the number 3, because I don't know what's going on with Sean Lee. And you lost Joe Thomas. I don't know if Justin March is going to be back. Do you trust Gifford or Bernard to be anything more than a 5? Your 5th linebacker? If so, okay, that's fine. But linebacker is an area of need for this Cowboys team. So if it's depth, sure, I am on board with that. Sean Lee, I will continue to include on this depth chart, even though he's a free agent, simply because, he's either going to retire or be a coach or play. So he's not going anywhere else, I don't think. But Jalen, Leighton Vander Esch are your top 2. The rest of them, there's not much depth there. So linebacker is an area of need for the Dallas Cowboys. And I wonder, depending on what other moves end up happening, if they're going to go linebacker early in the NFL draft. I can get on board with day 2. Please don't take 1 at 10. That's all I ask. Super chat from Zachary Marquez. How would signing Melvin Ingram, you meant Melvin, not Marvin, it's all good, help our defense? It gives you a legit number 2/number 3 pass rusher. And I mentioned him when we memed and went live for the punter. Getting Melvin Ingram kind of fits that Robert Quinn mold. Player who was coming off a down year, wasn't all that great, and would come in and I think help you out. Now, he didn't do much last year, in part because of injuries, but I know he fits the scheme. He and Randy Gregory could both kind of rotate on that edge rusher spot. That makes sense to me. Opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, and he could probably, rotate with Lawrence too, maybe give Lawrence some inside reps, blah, blah, blah. I'd be down if he's cheap. We'll see if that's what the Cowboys choose to go. So I like the idea. I like all your guys' idea. The Cowboys just don't ever listen to us. All right, from Bryant. If the Cowboys sign a corner in free agency, what should we do with the 10th pick? Should trade down, move down, add more picks, and figure something else out. Will, if they add a legit number 2 or better corner, means they're not going corner in round 1, and then maybe look at Christian Barmore? Do you go offensive line? Do you go linebacker? Those ideas don't appeal to me all that much. Now, whatever the Cowboys end up doing, and of course what they could do, we'll break that down for you as well. News, rumors, mailbags, everything. We got it covered for you here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. So if you want to stay in the know with what's going on, hit that big red button and subscribe today. From Gary Sane, how much do we really have to spend in free agency? Don't we have to sign draft picks and have some in the bank for emergencies? You don't have to have anything in the bank for emergencies. The Cowboys can restructure a player and free up $10 million like that. So from an emergency perspective, they are fine if they want to be. Draft pick-wise, with the way the numbers are being counted right now, it's only like $3.5 or $4 million. So even if you factor that out, you got 10. And that's if you don't restructure anybody. So in terms of being able to spend, legitimately, it is whatever you want. From what they have right now, call it 10-ish. And that's plenty of money to go add a good football player. Like Gerald McCoy signed a pretty decent-sized contract last year, and his cap, it was only $3 million. That makes sense. From Deuce Edwards, a 99-cent super chat, he also threw in this question. Thank you. Sign Hooker in 22, and from the Falcons, I think you mean Keanu Neal from the Falcons, and draft a cornerback. Okay, I'm on board. In this case, Malik Hooker is my free safety. I can play more big nickel. I can make Keanu Neal almost my number 3 linebacker with Jalen Smith and LVE, and I can draft Caleb Farley, whoever you want, at cornerback. Yeah, I'm in. I think that is a good path, but if you add another free safety in the draft too, because Hooker's always hurt, that's a good path for your secondary. I'm on board with that move. Romano, Dak's game change after injury. How do we comp? I think he'll be fine. Like in all seriousness, obviously you don't want Dak to take big hits because you just paid him, but it's a broken ankle. I know it was gruesome, but unlike what one media guy said, the recovery's going fine. Like, honestly, I would be more concerned about a Dak Prescott injury If it was a throwing shoulder, which he already had and came back fine from it, by the way, shouldn't have played against the Eagles in that game, or if it was an ACL, or if it was a tendon or a ligament as opposed to just a broken ankle. Like, in terms of the hierarchy of injuries that concern me, it's honestly not that high for Dak Prescott. So I think he's going to be good. I don't think much is going to change. The Cowboys didn't use that many read options only. It was mostly in high leverage situations. I figure it'll be more of the same next season. Evan Hauser, Gallup, and a second or third for Gilmore. We always get a Stephon Gilmore Gallup question, so I appreciate that. I don't know what the value of Stephon Gilmore is. I really don't. He's coming off the injury. He wants a new contract, as he should. He's going to be expensive. So, honestly, I kind of wonder if Gallup or a second or third is high enough for Stephon Gilmore. Like, I wonder if that's enough. I think it might be if the Cowboys actually do it, which they probably won't in the end. So how many games will the Cowboys win in 2021? Get your votes in for me in the comments. Is it 7? Remember, 17 games this year. Is it 8, 9, 10? Is it all 17? Get your votes in the comments section. And you'll be able to bet on these, and you can also bet on the Cowboys win the NFC East right now. Chatsports.com/bet. That URL will take you right into the BetUS site. When you use promo code Cowboys125 and that URL, you will get a 125% deposit bonus. So, $100 in, extra 125 to bet with, and once you place a bet on March Madness, any game that you want, we'll hook you up with a Dak Prescott jersey as well. Cowboys@chatsports.com. I'll put that email in the comments and in the description, so all you guys got to do is simply email us, cowboys@chatsports.com. Claudio, who threw in a super chat as part of his super chat, if we would sign Earl Thomas and Jadeveon Clowney, then draft him, would be a top 3 defense. First off, Earl Thomas super, bottoms up. No, you would not. Guys, you are a borderline bottom 3 defense next year. Earl and Clowney and Surtain does not suddenly make you among the best in the NFL. Now, if you get good Jadeveon Clowney and good Earl Thomas, which I kind of don't think you're going to get at this point because Earl's a headache and Clowney's not wasn't good, by the way, it helps you. And if you can get to league average-ish, you're going to be just fine with a fantastic offense. From George Thurston, a $3 super chat. Thank you so much, George. Love your profile pic, by the way. Pedro's back again. Sign a decent cornerback in free agency, then trade down to the 15s or 20s for Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So I am different than I think most of the draft experts out there. I actually have Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah over Micah Parsons. And I think for some people, and some in the NFL, they're going to view Joke as a safety. I think he can play the Deion Jones role in Dan Quinn's defense. So I'm down. I would wonder if the Cowboys would actually do it, though. It's just Zach. Producer Sam, if you're a legit GOAT, will you put my question on, can we win our division this year? If you appeal to Producer Sam, sometimes you actually get on the show. He's on Twitter, by the way, @SamBrownCS. I think there's a real chance, yeah. I think the Cowboys are still the favorite in the end. It's Dallas and Washington. Those are your top 2. Pretty straightforward there. From Cody, I personally believe we should trade down to 16 or 17, draft J.C. because when I watch film, he pops to me like a young Jalen Ramsey. You watched the Auburn game, didn't you, Cody? Because that Auburn game where J.C. Horn just absolutely shut down Seth Williams, pretty damn impressive, right? I like J.C. Horn. I really do. He's good in press man. He does struggle, though, in off coverage. And when he's not jamming, he gets really panicky and he's grabbing everybody. So I like J.C. Horn. I think 16-17 is a good range for him. He is my cornerback 3, and he is going to end up on my board closer to Greg Newsome from Northwestern than he is going to be to Caleb Farley, who's my number 1 guy this year. King Tut, if we sign a corner and trade down, and Surtain or Farley is still on the board, do we take them? Depends on what corner you sign. If you sign a pure, like a big-time expensive one, I think no. If you sign a 1-year guy, I think it's still in play at that point. Hayden Miller, why do they never spend in free agency? It's annoying. Because they are the Cap Boys. They don't spend. That's not what they do. They don't want to spend money. Stephen Jones keeps that checkbook tight. They view free agency as, let's sign our own guys. They think they already won free agency because they paid Dak Prescott, which is kind of true, but also they think this defense will be better just with Dan Quinn, and that terrifies me. From Jack Andre, how will we fix our problems on the defense if we don't get anyone in free agency? You won't. It's that simple. You're not going to be good enough on defense if you don't add some more impact pieces, or at least some pieces. In round 2, I don't know. It depends on who they go with, right? If you don't go cornerback, there's a lot of good corners that make sense. The Georgia kids, Ifeatu Melifonwu from Syracuse, amongst others. Safety, Richie Grant would be a dream pick for me out of Central Florida. A linebacker also would be a fit for me as well. From Samuel Hilliard, front office needs creativity. Dream scenario is to acquire Stephon Gilmore. Okay, you're not getting Jalen Ramsey. 0% chance you're getting Ramsey. I'm going to stop you right there. Also, like you're going to take Gilmore and no, it's just not going to happen. So it's creative, but no, there's no chance there. From my burner account, is management banking on the draft too much? I think that they're banking on the defense being better with a new coordinator too much. I don't think it's just about the draft. I think that they believe all of their issues, or too many of their issues, were, it was Nolan, which I don't think is correct. They have to add talent. I don't think they're done adding talent, but they do not have enough at this point. From George, a super chat. Thank you, my man. What is Carlos Watkins best at? Also, Farley 10, Richie Grant 44, and a Malik Hooker signing. As for the draft and Hooker, I love that plan. Give me Farley, give me Grant, give me Hooker. I feel great about my secondary if that were to be the plan. As for Watkins, he's best at being kind of athletic.